I'm not a genius by any mean. I'm a genius as much as anyone else in the world is a genius.
You know,
Okay?
you know about something that honestly is actually very important. I think a lot of people know a lot about the Kardashians. A lot of people know a lot about, maybe like McDonald's history. And I don't know,
Sporting teams.
sporting teams, and that's fun. It's fun
Hmm.
stuff. But there has to be people in the world that care about the stuff that other people don't. I was a psychology major in college because I'm fascinated with how human beings work. Like I don't think I could have. I tried majoring in business, but I just my mind doesn't work that way. Your mind I think is a little bit more financially. Mine, I'm so out there all the time that and
So I think two things on that comment. First of all, you make a really good point. We all have specialization. We're able to spend time on a specific thing that interests us, which is for the benefit of everybody. It's more beneficial for you to pursue one thing really well because you're able to contribute to the overall knowledge of society. Right? Like with your music production, I'd have no idea what you're doing, but I appreciate it. And if we want to collaborate on some, I do some rap videos, we could have fun with that.
Of course.
But you would have knowledge that I would say, hey, Chad, I trust you on this.
Yep.
But I am a person who likes to learn. So I would ask questions, which would make you better as a teacher because you would explain to me in a way that I could understand.
Yep.
So my goal in the world of finance and consulting and everything is to teach people how to learn. I don't care about what you're learning, but I want you to understand how to learn, how to ask good questions, how to frame it in a way that people resonate with. Like some of us are visual, some of us are auditory, some of us are hands-on kinesthetic. We learn in different ways.
Yep. Well, and that's the great thing about college is it teaches you how to learn. And that's why businesses like college students so much because they have learned how to learn. Most of what you learn by the time.
Have they though?
Hopefully, let's hope that paper means that they have learned how to learn.
I think the value of college is vastly being degraded. I'm not saying college isn't a good thing at all, but the more people go to college, the less valuable a college degree is.
I agree. And if they're gonna make it free like they're talking about, it's gonna make it even worse.
Oh yeah, why'd I spend $100,000 on my education that I have to pay back? But here's the thing: is that every single person said I'm not going to pay back my student loans? Everything was shut down.
Oh, absolutely.
Like this is the fallacy. You know what's going on in France right now, right? The yellow vests. Oh, dude.
I don't watch the news a lot. I'll be honest.
Okay, you watch the news?
I don't watch the news a whole lot.
Okay, first of all, I think most news is fake news. I'll be honest with you because if you look at who actually controls the corporations, they're all controlled by like 3 or 4 people, and they pretty much say the same thing. It's all perception management. They control the narrative, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of it's sensationalist based. A lot of it is about getting clicks.
Totally. And guess what? Guess what gets clicks?
CNN and Fox News.
Well,
Sensation.
fear, sensation. Yeah, fear,
Absolutely.
sensation, war, violence, O.J. Simpson murder trials.
Yeah, bad things basically.
Yeah, basically bad things because it's attention based. It's a bad thing. So what's happening in France? And an interesting thing, and I don't know the exact rule off the top of my head, but there's a law in France where you are required to keep a yellow vest in your car in case of an emergency, so you can stand out as like if the lights go out as a reflective surface, it's safe to have a yellow vest, right? Does that make some sense, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
But just like every single rule, that law makes sense because it's framed in a way that makes it make sense, right?
Yep.
So right now what's going on in France is they have these huge, huge, huge protests. And I'm talking like hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions of people. A lot of them are rural farmers, or they started off as rural farmers because there was a tax that was being put on gasoline. And right now, Europe pays significantly more for gas than we do in America because of the taxes on that gas. That's why if you go to different states, it'll pay a lot more or less depending on where you are, right?
Yep.
And what's happening is a lot of the people who are farmers, who are living in rural areas, who actually are driving pretty far to go to work, that tax affects them much more than it affects someone who takes the bus to work, which makes, again, it makes sense. But then you think of why they're putting these taxes. And it's to make up money to pay off debt, to pay for the budget, which makes sense, right? Yep. But then where are they spending the money? Do the people who are paying the tax agree and are being beneficial from where the money goes?
Absolutely.
And they're not.
Yeah.
Like most money that's spent by the government doesn't actually help the majority of people.
Yep.
It helps
Oh,
a
yeah,
small select few.
Well, I think about it this way. So I don't drive currently. I was in an accident last year, and I decided I don't want to drive. So, however, I'm paying taxes on streets that I don't really even use. I use the sidewalks more,
Mhm.
but a lot of my taxes go to, and I'm not going to complain about it. You know, in my mind, once we pay taxes, they're not ours anymore. They're the government's. That's the way I see it. But you know, the thing is, like, we all pay taxes on things. We're probably not going to get Social Security. You know,
No, we're not at all.
yeah, we're not going to.
Zero chance. It's
But
not
yet
going to exist.
oh yeah, and the thing is, you know, but that's the way I see it. That the government, we elect officials who then make decisions based on their logic and their knowledge. Because
They're lobbyists.
most of us would not want to deal with these issues on a day-to-day basis. You know, the things that they do, most people would not want to be like, okay, we need to put money towards roads, we need to put money towards this and that. But that's their job, and we trust them to do it. But yet, a lot of people like the armchair quarterback thing, where, you know, I wish they would spend more money on roads. Well, you know, what about this? You know, I wish they would cut funding from the military. Well, then expect an increase in terrorism. You know, like things like that, and people don't realize are very difficult decisions. And I would not want to be a politician, because it's just, man, it is.
But you know, it's a heads you win, tails you lose situation.
Mm.
Okay, so again, I have some very out there thoughts in the world. I have a lot of beliefs that probably they'd resonate with people, because people realize that I'm speaking the truth that I've come to understand. And that's part of what I like to bring. Most wealth, most money, most wealth currency that's spent is the military. It's on healthcare. It's on some education. Like, have you seen the website nationaldebtclock.org?
Yes, I have, actually. Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
So something that people don't realize. So I went to school for accounting. That was my college degree. Is there's assets and there's liabilities. Liabilities a lot of the time are future obligations that you have to pay, like Social Security or Medicare. Right now in America, we have about $250 trillion of liabilities outstanding. That is 10 times plus our GDP. That is money that we will honestly never. The only way for us to pay it back are two options: hyperinflation or bankruptcy.
Yep.
And they sound kind of extreme for people, but there's a lot of information out there that people are oblivious to because they haven't researched for themselves. They haven't looked into it. They haven't asked questions because they trust that the people who are in the government are looking out for them. And I think that's one of the reasons why Donald Trump was elected, is because a lot of people said, hey, these politicians aren't looking out for my best. Yeah, they're not looking out for my best interest. So we want to have a new president. And that movement's going around. President in Brazil was a right-wing candidate who just got elected. And this is part of the whole political spiral.
It's always back and forth, up and down. Yep, absolutely.